Okay, happy Monday, everyone. Sorry I'm not with you today, but hopefully this will help make things a little bit easier. If you are at home, I need you to make sure that you have completed your spiral review and your DMR before you watch this video. Okay, if you ever get to the point where you need to pause me, that's fine, and then move on. Okay. Alrighty, so our key concept this week, we're going to be talking about comparing numbers to each other. So comparing means to examine the difference between numbers to decide if it is greater than, smaller than, or equal to another number. So the question that we have, the directions, write which place to use when comparing the numbers. So if I am comparing 982,450 and 982,955, I want to know what place is the determining place that tells me if a number is larger and smaller. Well, the first thing that I want us to always do is to stack our numbers, just like we have been doing. So 982,450. And then I'm going to start from the ones here to make sure I get everything lined up just perfect. And when you stack them, it sure makes life a whole lot easier to see where you're going to have to compare at. So you're always going to start with your highest value. My 100,000s is the same. My 10,000s is the same. My 1,000s are the same. But if I look right here in my hundreds is where it's different. So my answer here, the hundreds place, is going to tell me if my number is larger or smaller than the other number. Okay, now all I need to know here is the hundreds, what place. I don't need to know, like, is it greater than, less than, or equal. So let's try 12,543 and 65,123. So 12,543, I'm going to stack them. And I like to start from the ones place when I'm stacking the bottom numbers. All right. So now if I look, I start from my highest value, which is my 10,000s. And right away I can see they're different. So that means my 10,000s is going to tell me if my numbers are greater than, less than, or equal. So that's our first key concept. Now, our second key concept is rounding to the thousands. Okay, so rounding is a strategy in which we replace one number with another that is close to it and easier to use when calculating. And rounding is kind of what you're doing when you estimate. And honestly, this is a skill that you will use your entire life. Trying to figure out how much money you need to go buy something. You usually round up so that you make sure you have enough money to cover the item and to cover the taxes. You might round when you're trying to figure out how much carpet you need to put in your living room. You might round when you are trying to figure out, okay, I'm going to need about 2 cups of milk. Should I buy a half gallon or a gallon? And you'll kind of round it up to a half gallon. Just different little things in life. So here's what we're going to look at. When rounding to the thousands, 8,569. Where does it fall between what two thousands? Well, you're always going to start with your thousands place, and that will be your first thousand. And then if we're counting by thousands, the next thousand would be 9,000. And I know that somewhere in between 8,000 and 9,000 is this 8,569. Now, would it round up to the 9,000 or would it round down to the 8,000? Well, in this situation, and we're going to talk a whole lot more about this on Tuesday, if I'm rounding to the thousands place, I am going to look at the number right behind it. And if it is 5 or higher, I'm going to round up. And if it is 4 or lower, I'm going to round down. Well, since it's a 5, I'm going to round up and go to 9,000. Okay. Now, if you don't get that quite yet, that's fine. We're going to be starting that skill this week. Now, this right here is where you are going to write your reflections. Okay. And if you were here on Monday, I'm sorry, if you were here on Friday, I gave you a sheet that had kind of like sentence starters for math. Like, I think that I am going to need to work on rounding to the thousands, something I haven't done before. Or you might say, and when we're doing our student reflection, it's about both these key concepts that are on this page. Okay. So you might even say, I feel good about rounding numbers to the hundreds, but maybe I need to practice to the thousands. Or I can compare numbers without any problem, but I need to work on rounding, or vice versa. So take the time to write that down. Okay. All right. Now let's look at our spiral review. All right. Our directions are in our addition block to write vertically and solve. Remember on Friday, we wrote our numbers in this place value chart. All this is a way to help us organize our numbers, keep them in columns based on their value. So now I'm going to put 451,225 here. And I always like to start with the ones place to ensure I get everything lined up. Double check which box am I in. Well, I'm in the addition block, so I'm going to add. 0 plus 5 is 5. 7 plus 2 is 9. 2 plus 2 is 4. My comma goes here. I should have put those commas. Shame on me. 8 plus 1 is 9. 3 plus 5 is 8. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So 289,495. All righty. If you got that right, give yourself a big smiley face. You should be really proud of yourself. All right. Now my subtraction box, I have 382,754 minus 182,523. So once again, I'm going to put my numbers in the places that they belong. And then I'm going to take away, put my commas in there, mistake. And it's subtraction. Always double check to make sure you're doing the right operation. 4 minus 3 is 1. 5 minus 2 is 3. 7 minus 5 is 2. Put that comma. 2 minus 2 is 0. 8 minus 8 is 0. And 3 minus 1 is 2. So I have 200,231. All righty. This week we're doing multiples of 4. So remember, you can always go to your Google Classroom and listen to the multiples song. But you'll need to be able to write these by memory. So it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. It's so hard to write that as I'm singing it. But it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. So anyways, 2 times 4 is 8. Not 10 times 4 is 40. 6 times 4. Let's say that I'm stuck. This is where I'm going to use these multiples. I've got my multiples of 4, so I'm going to count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see the sixth multiple of 4 is 24. Let's try it for 4 times 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So their eighth multiple of 4 is 32. Okay. And then 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 7 is 28. And 9 times 4 is 36. So that's how you use those multiples of 4. And it's totally okay when you sit down to do your work or take a test or take a quiz to write those multiples out. All right, repeated subtraction sentence for 42 divided by 14. All right, 42 is what we start with. We will always use these two numbers that they give us, okay? Now I'm going to take away 14, and I'm going to keep subtracting until I get all the way to 0. I cannot take 4 away from 2. There's not enough there to subtract. So I'm coming to the tens place, and I'm borrowing 1 10. That leaves me with 3 10s. I bring the 10 I borrowed back over to the ones place and combine it with the 2 ones, and now I have 12 ones. 12 minus 4 is 8. 3 minus 1 is 2. Did I hit 0? Nope. So I'm going to take away 14 again. 8 minus 4 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. Did I hit 0? No. Going to take away 14 again. Now be real careful here, folks, because this 14 on top, that is just the difference to this problem. It's not an actual subtraction. The ones I subtract, I put the minus signs. 4 minus 4 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So did I hit 0? Yes. How many times did I subtract 14? 1. That one doesn't count as a subtraction. 2 and 3. So therefore, 42 divided by 14 is 3. Okay, if you are at home on quarantine at this point, I do apologize because we will not have a Google Meet today. I'm going to be out of the building both today and Tuesday. So and I will post your stuff in Google Classroom that you need to work on. But for Monday, this is today, you are going to do pages 13 through 16 in your math book. Okay, and I'll actually post some videos from the math series and some helpful things in your math book online to help you out. So you'll go to that Realize login and I'll have your assignments listed there for you. So it's not very hard, but you're going to be doing comparing numbers today in your math book. Okay. So that's what we have for today. So I hope the rest of your Monday is fantastic, and I look forward to seeing your faces soon. Have a good one.